Candace stared at her feet the entire trip. She didn't notice switching back to her human form, and was startled when the stewardess tapped her on the back.
"Excuse me, Miss Bloodgood."
Candace craned her head upward, drying tears from her bloodshot eyes.
"Yes?" "Would you please come with me to the storage locker?"
The back of all space shuttles housed a massive storage unit set up into 3 sections. Section A was for the transport of criminals from the Earth to the Moon who had been infected. Section B was transportation. All of the used or totaled cars on Earth were shipped, restored, and retrofitted on the Moon. And Section C was all medical supplies, as well as the injured, or in Jesse's case, the deceased. Candace thought it would be best if she had Jesse's body sent to Earth so he could be buried where he came from. Having her father as the former mayor and her brother as the head DA made it easier to get through the red tape. The entire trip to Earth had been an emotional turmoil for her. She walked into the storage locker, solemnly expecting the worst. Rounding the corner, there he was, Jesse, shivering on a stool, covered in a navy blue blanket, sipping coffee. She embraced him.
"Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! How? Just what?"
"This is the best hug I've ever had in my life. You're so warm."
"He started banging from the inside of his stasis pod when we entered the Earth's atmosphere. Do you know why he was marked as a cadaver?" "He was. I mean, you were."
"I thought you were dead." They cried and laughed together. She rubbed her hands through his hair. Staring into each other's eyes, they finally kissed. When she told him of her plan to take his body back to California, Jesse agreed that he should still go. He had no idea what he was going to say or what he should expect, but his near-death experience made him greatly miss his brother Skip. The 4-hour flight went by fast, as did the trip to the car rental service and getting to Fontana. When he got to their street, Jesse and Candace saw that the neighborhood was packed with cars. It took them 3 tries to finally find a parking space up the street from the shabby white house at the end of the cul-de-sac.
"That's your home?"
"All my life."
"It's quaint."
"I know, it's pretty run down. Nothing like your fancy moon houses."
"Are you ready?"
"Not at all, but I have to do this." Candace gave him a firm nod. "You don't have to go with me."
"There's no way I'm missing this."
"Well, all right." Reaching the front door, Jesse gave the shave and a haircut knock that he and Skip would use when they were children, and one of the other was home alone. When the door opened, it wasn't his brother, but instead, "Mrs. Hill?" She was 15 years older and donning a glittery purple sweater that said congratulations, but it was his former kindergarten teacher, this time 100% real.
"Jesse, wow, certainly a surprise to see you."
"Likewise. Oh, this is my friend Candace." The girl with the auburn hair smiled and waved at her. Mrs. Hill smiled back. The house was packed. Jesse and Candace had their thoughts confirmed over where all the drivers of those cars parked outside had gone. He noticed everyone there. They were either customers of their delivery service, former teachers, or Laura's family and friends. Seeing that he was perplexed, Candace tapped Jesse on the shoulder, then pointed upward, where they averted their eyes to the banner that said, "We're getting married." The same flood of confused emotions that hit him for what now seemed like a lifetime earlier came over him, but instead of shutting down, he was turned all the way up. "What the?" Skip wheeled into the room with Laura by his side. The crowd parted around them. "Ha, the prodigal brother returns." "I was gone a week and you're already getting married?"
"What else was I supposed to do after you abandoned me?"
"I abandoned you?" "You abandoned us, and you better have brought back that delivery van." "You're kidding me. The last time I saw you two, you were dry humping on a hospital bed. My older brother and my fiancé, for crying out loud." Gasps and hushed whispers rang out from the guest. A middle-aged man called out from the crowd. "Excuse me, sir. I'm Laura's father. Who are you?" "Oh, hey, Mr. Willoughby. I was Laura's boyfriend for 2.5 years. I would have loved to have met you, but I was told you were in a coma."
"I said Arizona."
"You said coma!" "Might as well have been a coma." "Why do you even care? You showed up with the rebound chick anyway."
"This rebound chick?"
"Damn right!"
"It's Candace."
Yeah! Why are you here, Jesse? What do you want? Skip, I just wanted to come back and say, I forgive you. You forgive me? You're right. I shouldn't forgive you because I didn't do anything wrong. My whole life, you just used me or took whatever I wanted. That's rich. I'm sorry you'll never change, but I'm glad I can. Oh, brah freaking oh, Lucas. All you do is talk. Excuse me? Quit whining and let's settle this man to man. I'm not hitting you, bro. Why not? You're in a wheelchair recovering from chemotherapy. Skip stood abruptly, kicking the wheelchair behind him, then stepped to Jesse. Before he could say anything, Skip was dazed from overexertion. He fell to his knees and started vomiting in front of the crowd. Candace and I are going to my room. I'll pack up my stuff, then head out. I wish you two well. You're made for each other. Good seeing you, Mrs. Hill. You too, Mr. North. Don't think I can't spot you in the back there. Have a good one. They were back on the space shuttle, moments away from the moon's orbit. Jesse held Candace's hand as she slept beside him. He noticed the fur had grown on the back of her hand, but his had not. That's kind of weird. He looked around to see the other Pierce passengers fully transformed. He heard the usual screams that came from the Bakers and Winstons during their metamorphosis. Candace, wake up! She opened her eyes slowly, then they went wide at the sight of Jesse, still in his human form.
Oh no, you're still human.
What happened?
I guess when you died, it got rid of your wolf.
Bite me.
Are you serious?
Last time it wasn't my choice. This time it is. The two Pierce wolves exited the spaceport arm in arm. Jesse looked out on Aldrania and smiled. Home, sweet home. You just listened to Werewolves on the Moon, Episode 12, Resolution. This audio drama was written, recorded, performed, and edited by Drew Manning. If you enjoyed it, please stay tuned to this channel. Jesse and the gang will return, but coming up next, we have one cycle to span. Thank you for your time, and have a great one.